Hey, this is 3 ways to close deals faster. I'm Alex from Inspire Beats. I've generated over $20 million in the last year, sold over $2 million in B2B sales, also a digital nomad. Let's jump into it. So I found this question online. This guy, you can read it on your own time. Basically, he's asking how he shortens his sales cycle. He's got a SaaS product selling to mid-market companies. He said he talks to them on the phone, but he has a very hard time actually closing, and the sales process is like multiple months long. And it reminded me of my old sales process. I used to work in a digital app development agency, and we'd have an intro meeting followed by a proposal draft, followed by a contract, followed by negotiation on every term of that contract, all sorts of unnecessary BS. Back to the negotiation thing, one time I was on a call where a lawyer from our side and a lawyer from their side just went back and forth while both us and the client just kept telling the lawyers to stop fighting because we were both trying to sign the deal with each other that day. So a lot of unnecessary stuff goes on. So my new process is very different from that. It looks like one call, a couple emails back and forth, and a close within the same week, or sometimes a couple weeks if they're an enterprise level client. So here are 3 ways to close deals faster and speed up the sales process with some real examples thrown in. So let's do it. 3 ways to close deals faster. Number 1, give them a reason to buy now. So you want clients to buy right now. But more importantly than that, you want them to want to buy now, even to need to buy now. Those guys are jumping because they want to buy. Look at that. Okay, so how do we do it, right? How do we get people to want to move forward and sign up within days versus weeks or months? The goal is to create an incentive. So when people say something like, let's start on April 1st, what I like to say is it takes 2 weeks to ramp up, so we need to close in the next couple days to start on April 1st. Hypothetically, it's like March 15th around this time. So they're thinking, they're putting you off for 2 weeks, but what they're really doing is lining themselves up for a 2-day close. Another good example I got from a salesman, actually this morning, a few minutes ago, this guy, we were in back and forth negotiation, basically a couple emails, which he has the same process as us. We only had one call together. But he's like, I'll tell you what, if you want to sign both now, I can give you the first few weeks free and you won't be charged until the 15th of March. How's that sound? So that was pushback. I was like, I need to put the budget together. I don't think I'll be ready to go for the next couple weeks. So he came back. He's like, you won't even be charged for the next couple weeks. We'll charge you in the future. So I was like, let's do it. And I had to give him some props. So I even sent him an emoji with a tongue sticking out. Classic emoticon. So once you've pressured them on the phone and you have the solid defenses against all their pushback, you want to have a buy button on the site. That's point number 2. It's the second thing you want to do. So I spoke about being open about pricing and why it's important on some other videos. There's a video on negotiation that's pretty good as well. With lower cost B2B deals, you want customers to be able to impulse buy immediately. So this allows you to close deals the same day or even on the first call. I've closed deals. I was about to say I've closed deals after a 20-minute call, but I've actually just closed a deal on Monday without even going on a call with somebody, just doing some email back and forths. So even without calls. So the way we do it, Inspire Beats, we've got our pricing right on the site. There's our basic starter package for $349. Someone can just start right there. The larger packages, we do have them contact us, just because we want to make sure that no one's signing up as like a scam. We want to make sure we can at least talk to them and they're real to lessen refunds. But for our lower packages, we do allow people to just buy right on the site. And a couple more examples. Here's Social Vantage. So in the social media space, these guys are requesting a quote. Their deal sizes are larger, but takes longer to close versus someone like Good Audience, who's one of our clients. Their pricing is right on the site. If somebody comes to their site and they want to start social media, they can start right away. They basically know exactly what to do. In another final example on this, in the hosting space, managed hosting, here's Hostway. They're on the first page of Google if you search managed hosting. They might even be beating out Amazon. I didn't see Amazon on there. But basically, this site is a total mess. And when you click Get Started, a form comes up that asks you for a bunch more info. There's no pricing or anything on the site. Versus someone like JSON, who does JSON calls, and basically all you do is move. You're like, I want this number of calls, this number of screenshots, and they give you the price right there, and you can just buy. So add pricing to your site, shorten sales cycle, and increase impulse buys. That's the second tip. Last thing, start at the top using outreach. So when deals drag on, it's because the guy isn't actually the decision maker most of the time, right? It's either he's not the decision maker or he doesn't want to say no for some reason. But most of the time, a business owner, they say no just to like get you to stop talking to them. So a recent example of this is we had a guy that wanted to cancel a month after starting Inspire Beats, which was really surprising for everyone on our team because their project was doing really, really well. So we complied with it, right? We paused the account. But what happened was we already had a coffee booked with the CEO like later that week. So we went to the coffee, and at the meeting, he saw that we were getting a 6% conversion rate. So every 100 emails that goes out, 6% were turning into actual like booked meetings for them, which normally 2 to 3% is what we go for. So that was double. So when he saw that, he upgraded actually. So rather than canceling, they moved on to a higher package, and he signed on another section of the company, an entire different division. So when meeting, you want to infer based on the title whether they're an actual decision maker, right? Director, VP, usually at larger companies can buy things. C-level also. Make sure they have buying power. For inbound, you want to make sure the boss is on at least the second call, right? Sometimes you can't control who's on the first call. But once you've identified a need in that first call, and there's videos for how we can do that, I think some from me as well. Once you have that first call done, you want to get the boss on the second call. That way you can actually close the deal. For outbound, you want to start at the top and let them pass you down. And that's going to help avoid a lot of this BS. So if you don't start at the top and something is acting weird, you can also ping the boss directly if the decision maker is acting strange, if the person not supposed to make the decision. So what I use is, hey, just wanted to check up on this. Mark said he was going to sign on 3 days ago, but he hasn't signed on yet. Any update from your end? And CEOs will either usually forward that back to Mark, who will then see the pressure and sign on, or answer direct and sign on. So it's a win-win there. So to recap, what we've got is 3 ways to close deals faster. 1, give a reason to buy now. 2, add buy buttons to your site. 3, start at the top using outreach. If you got any questions, I'm around. Alex Berman, alex@inspirebeats.com. There's my Twitter. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to see a lot more videos. And if you need targeted leads or outreach for your B2B company, check out inspirebeats.com. All right, take care.